The second matchup of the night. Will it entertain as much as the first? I certainly hope so. Alligatosaurus back alongside Blue Sabres for another 2v2 matchup in the LOS playoffs. Blue Sabres, we had a couple of minutes of a break. We get to look at this next match coming up between Tormenta Phantom and Yeah No Problem. You think we're going to see some similar overtime streaks like we did in the last match?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my, but yeah, it's a best of 7. We got plenty of time for plenty of things to happen. If it goes in 4, I'll be a little bit saddened, but good on whoever wins, but I don't think that's going to be the case again.
I think this is going to go quite the distance, and we do have the players in. We'll give them the go-ahead in the second. Folks, just got a reminder, if you're interested in playing on stream, you want to get into the action, registration for Season 3, it's up, it's ready. We have Rocket League of all sorts. We're introducing crew battles, which I am pumped for. But we also got Valorant. We got Apex. We got Pokemon. We have so much stuff. I'm going to double check we still have Pokemon. But it's going to be a good one. No Pokemon. But we are going to go ahead and get this matchup going. We wanted to throw that out there because, again, it's always a good time with LOS champs. We're getting everything going here for our second matchup of the way. Saber, take it away.
Sure, I'll happily do so. Yeah, no problem. They might have some problems starting right out of the gates because Phantoms, they are starting off early just about, so looking for one another, going for those air plays, and Shadow Ball still going for it, looking for some help from Current, I'm sure, but Squashy, I've actually seen him before. It's been a long time coming. And of course, Current and Shadow Ball, I've seen it as well, but SGB, a new one for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some new standout stars coming on in this one. And I've seen Yeah No Problem before, as well as Tormenta Phantom. It's been a bit kind of similar with Shadow Ball and Current. I should go through my notes. I know I've casted these guys before. It's been quite some time, but also I see Shadow Ball and I'm thinking, cool, stab, go, special attack move. Let's go. But certainly 0-0 in Wasteland. We'll find out who's gonna win in this tier 4 2v2 matchup. It's looking pretty good. I like the speed so far, Sabres.
Yeah, you can sour up a few tiers from series number 1, but that's not necessarily a huge major thing because it's a matchup, so it's gonna be just as fun. But to my surprise, Yeah No Problem, they're gonna be the first ones to score. Tormenta Phantom, they came out with so much pressure out of the gates. I for sure thought they would have been the first.
It's almost a beautiful irony, too, that the first goal to be scored is a nice little slow play one, like waiting for the play, coming off the back wall, catch it, escort it, nice little casual stroll in to get that first goal. But no, I do agree with you. Tormenta Phantom had just brought in so much early on, and now down 1, an attempt at a passing play coming in for Yeah No Problem, but see if they can keep it going. Squashy bully ball, a save by Shadow Ball. SGB again held out a little bit later previously. Did not work out that one. Shadow Ball is gonna miss and is gonna want to skip the replay as quick as he can.
Yeah, and I mean, it's game 1 again. Both these teams gonna have to warm on up. Shadow Ball maybe not needing to warm up, but just kick out the nerves.
Yeah. I mean, that could be it too. So, but they continue to play. We'll see how well this works out. Current with the cheat. I like to see the cheat come in as well. It's something that you see more and more as the ranks go up, and doing it to a perfect effect right there, and starting to slow down that momentum of Yeah No Problem and get Tormenta Phantom on the board.
I mean, I don't know if he'll slow them down. We'll certainly see. Yeah No Problem. I think you could say that they came out slow, but I think they're just a team that kind of sticks to the basics, whereas Tormenta Phantom, they are not afraid to get a little bit mechanical. My goodness, Current, especially earlier on, he almost had like a flip reset shot in, making it look easy, but Yeah No Problem, making the 2-goal lead for quite some time. A little bit easier, but oh, maybe they'll get it right back? Okay.
We're gonna do that. Yeah, no problem. You know, we'll beat that horse dead, but that's, we kind of have to with that name. But no, they're, to your point, I mean, they are absolutely playing very sound through the first half of the first game. not throwing in much for Flash. We've seen some very high ones. We're going to see a fake kickoff coming in from Tormenta Phantom, quickly snuffed out by Squashy, but generally very clean gameplay from Yeah No Problem. They're not going up with the extra fancy flips and twirls on their aerials, airbussing straight to it. They're getting that 2-goal lead, so we'll see how well it works. We're going to see a demo come out. It will not slow down. Squashy gets 1. Will not get past 2 because the wall will come in with the assist. We'll head back down onto defense. Shadow Ball looking to try to find Current. Goes for a musty pass and might regret that one if they can get back at least.
Yeah, I mean, I do gotta give props to the Phantoms. They're trying to get the mechanics warmed up right out of the gates, and I think that could actually cause problems for Yeah No Problem later on. I mean, for now, obviously it is working in their favor, and SGB making light work of that back line. Just so many shots put on by Tormenta Phantom, but nothing too scary by the looks of it for Yeah No Problem.
They're holding it well. They're not scared. They're not hesitating. That's one thing where if I'm sitting there into a match like that and I'm up on somebody and they start going for it, I don't know how I'd be feeling, but they are not bothered in the slightest. Squashy picking up one, a little bit of help. I don't think there's much the defense could do in that situation, but the stoic gameplay from Yeah No Problem continuing to pay dividends.
Yeah, and I think Tormenta Phantom, they might be starting to feel that a little bit. They came out of the gates playing really quick and not hesitating to go whatsoever, and now we're kind of seeing the opposite as the time keeps ticking. And now we're left with 1:30. Okay. I mean, I think that situation just describes how this game is going to end.
Yeah, they just kind of summed it all up right there. I mean, SUV, I liked it. I liked the flare coming out of it, and then Squashy just kind of driving in and sending it on. And there's a couple of goals now coming out for Yeah No Problem. This orange duo where the second player just kind of has to hold back and see what happens, and then just kind of has a freebie at it.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not gonna let Tormenta Phantom lose. I love that Yeah No Problem is just gonna keep putting that pressure on and really not allow for the opportunity for Tormenta Phantom to get any control. But Shadow Ball, he does find some, but it's just not enough quite yet.
They're getting close. I'm just taking a look at stats and such too. I didn't realize Yeah No Problem have already put 12 shots on. I think their offense has been clicking, even if it doesn't look like they're flashy or on fire. That's a great touch from Squashy, though. SGB is going to secure it. That one a little bit more flash. The great chemistry play coming out from these two. SGB just knowing where Squashy is, Squashy returning the favor.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to be flashy to have some clips tonight. So, Yeah No Problem. We do need to talk about something really quick. They're 1 goal off from that Brazil. I don't think we've seen that quite happen tonight, despite some high-scoring games last series. But Yeah No Problem. They're almost finding it.
They're close. The closest we saw was 5-1 in Game 2 in the last game. They did not ultimately book the flight. Let's see if they're going to shut down the terminal here. Shadow Ball a little bit light, and said earlier, you don't have to be flashy to get clips. Well, you just got to be a little bit squashy to get those on. And 6-1, a pinch coming out. Might just play keep away here. 1 for the road, potentially. I don't know. We got to unpack the bags, I think, Sabres. Hold on. We got to see. Maybe the trip's happening after all. Are we going on vacation? Does not look like we are. It stays alive for the moment. Yeah, no problem. Hits the ground and have no problem at all with Game 1.
Yeah, I kind of wonder now. We're talking a lot about flights. Can we cast or curse in real life?
What are you implying? Is this gonna get shut down? But
we'll talk about that one later. But Yeah No Problem. We'll talk about all that on the 30th. I think that's where a lot of those flight things have been coming from.
I'm brain farting. Cookie's voice isn't going on podcast.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's good. It's all good. It went over my head like all the other flights and every ball I challenge in this game. So yeah, no problem. Picking up a big win in Game 1 though. Sabres, I mean, Tormenta Phantom, the mechanics are absolutely there. There's no doubt about that. Very impressive mechanically in Game 1, but I mean, It's been all no problem on the scoreboard, and that's going to be difficult for Tormenta Phantom. They just got to play that ball closer to their chest. They're full committing on a lot of these offensive pushes, and there's just a quick pushback by no problem.
Yeah, and something else I'm noticing in the game here, not that you guys can see it right now, is there's a lot of chatter happening in the chats of this series. That certainly could make things a little bit different.
I will have to turn my chat on. I do have it off right now, but you know what? Since you said it, I'm changing settings right now. Take it away. I'm in settings.
I gotcha. Tormenta Phantom, they have a good kickoff, but yeah, no problem. They're the ones to find the control here. Current, a little bit awkward actually coming off that backboard. Shadow Ball gonna be last man back. Handles it well, but Squashy, he's still putting that pressure on. SGV out mid, and yeah, no problem. I mean, they haven't put it in yet. First 20. But they had a very good first peak here.
Starting to... Again, they're going to be back on defense here for the... Oh, my dog stole my pen out of my hand. They're starting to fight back out on defense now. Squashy looking to find a sprinting SGB, but the shot goes wide. So we'll stay tied at 0 for now. And we're getting a little bit more set plays, it almost looks like. But all players giving the others room to breathe. Get some boost on the refresh. Squashy is going to drop it down, however. We get the first one for no problem.
Oh boy. Yeah, no problem. Certainly creating a lot of problems for Tormenta Phantom. Just a full minute of devastation coming out of the gates here, and I don't really see it changing unless Tormenta Phantom can start to get some more control of it. But SGV, he's going to try his hardest to really make sure that is not going to be the case. And as we can see, some of those bumps starting to come through for no problem, opening up that backline a little bit. But Tormenta Phantom, they're holding it their best possible way they can.
SGB, nice slow play. That deliberateness is working out. Squashy getting the read on him. I'm gonna take another look at that one, how that came to play. Just a very clean play from no problem. I think Shadow Ball, just that slight hesitation. I don't think he saw Squashy challenging from that corner.
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not see that play coming in anywhere. That was a little bit of a weird one. Yeah, no problem. Maybe getting away with something a little bit interesting, but Tormenta Phantoms, it looks like they want to find a response. Shadow Ball certainly getting up the pressure. Current, he's currently making some awkward touches, almost work in his favor, but I mean, Tormenta Phantoms, they're starting to find the pressure, and that one was wide open. What is going on over here in this game, too?
SGV hit him with the pit maneuver. He just locked up his car. He didn't get a bump. He didn't get a demo. He just tied him up so he couldn't turn. I mean, it's just the awareness from no problem, or just, I don't know, it seems like they're on another level right now as they get scored on. Shadow Ball collecting the pass from Current, and apparently my trend for the previous match continues as well. And now I just got to start gassing up no problem and Tormenta Phantom score.
Okay, Tormenta Phantom's showing up for us here in game number 2 now. Not letting it get too crazy. One goal certainly seems doable. And the pressure, it still continues against no problem, but just as quick as I'm saying it, it's quickly getting shut down, all the way down. Squashy wanting to find a bit of a backflip. It seems like both these teams keep going for it. I think no problem might be starting to feel a little bit cocky.
We got some like a clip competition going on here. I mean, there's been some decision making, and granted, these players are higher ranked than me. There's a reason I'm in the booth and not on the pitch with them, but there's some decisions that have been interesting. But if you're playing as SGB, you got an easy decision. You find Squashy. 3 assists for SGB, a hat trick for Squashy, a 3-1 lead, a tick before halftime in game number 2, and it's looking to get a little similar to game 1. We'll need to see Shadow Ball and Current bring this back under control, not get too flustered in this match.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what these comms are looking like. Are Tormenta Phantoms just having a heyday and they're just low-key vibing while we think they are shivering in their boots, or what? But, I mean, right now, Current, he's looking pretty strong.
Take another look at this air dribble. He has also been watching, I believe it was Waiton who did the video on the air dribble tactic off the sidewall. You hit it out a little bit further instead of gluing it to your nose, and makes it harder to defend. We saw it beautifully done right there. We'll get them back within one and see if Current can make some magic happen out of the corner. That's going to be a very fortuitous bounce, but the follow-up, not so much. Shadow Ball is going to fight to keep this in the offensive zone, but Sabres, a couple opportunities coming out for Tormenta. They need to take advantage of them if they're going to look to come back in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been doing exactly that. As we can see, they gain a moment of pressure against No Problem, and I think that moment's going to be regained here in just a second. As now Tormenta, they're also pulling out some demos as well. No Problem. Maybe not necessarily just getting demos, but they've obviously been finding those bumps and pit maneuvers. And I'm sure there's going to be more to come, but it seems like more for Phantoms.
And they're starting to create their opportunities too, which is so incredibly important in these matches, is being able to make your shot, not just take a shot. They've got to dial it in a little bit more. They are sending off a little bit wide, 8 shots, 2 goals to speak of. They're getting that offensive pressure. I like that play coming out from Current with Squashy up quick. Both players there for the blue duo. They got a minute left to get this equalizer. Everybody returning from their own back wall to do it.
Yeah, 1 minute left on that clock. You already know Tormenta Phantoms are more than likely having their head spin a little bit, but no problem. They are not, but they're going to be stuck on the defense for just a moment, and only a moment, as Squashy, he's making nothing out of something. I don't know. I think I said that backwards, but...
I mean, kind of. I mean, if you can flip it on his head, I mean, they've been feasting on it. All 4 goals coming off Squashy, and so many of them, I mean, right place at the right time, I don't think does it justice. I mean, there's so much more game awareness coming on into it, to be sure. And get that breathing room back, that's going to be huge. The pressure's coming in from Tormenta Phantoms. That's going to be a nice flick saved by SGB, but... I mean, no problem. True to name, they just look comfortable.
Yeah, and Tormenta Phantoms, they're sure ghosting us here in game number 2. But, hold on, Shadow Ball starting to gain some pressure, but where are we going there? A little bit of an interesting one, kind of that last second, we got to pick up the pace, but I think it's too little too late.
Maybe get one more. No, Squashy denies it. He's like, I don't even watch replays. We're just going to end this. We're going to move on. And right now, I mean, no problem. They're chilling, they're vibing, they're playing very basically. Tormenta Phantoms, they're hitting at it, they're ghosting, they're hitting these ghost types. Their opponents are normal. You can't hit them. You got to mix something up. You got to find a new angle of attack. And Tormenta Phantom have been looking for it. They've gotten a couple. They just got to get that little bit more. It's. I mean, Saber, you're watching this right now. I mean, what do you think Tormenta Phantom have to do to come back in the series?
I mean, I think they just have to come back in their game 1 kind of mindset, because they came out of the gates looking really mechanical and overall not hesitant, and I think that's the mindset and the gameplay that we need to be able to see from them to beat out no problem, because I mean, they're playing such a basic game, you fly over their head and they might not see it coming.
It's true indeed. So we'll see how this one goes, though. Heading into game 3, momentum certainly on the side of no problem in this series as well. 2-0 lead, 10-3 goals in aggregate. So we're going to set up shop on offense very quickly as well, but Shadow Ball saves. Might get something here. SGB cuts it off.
Shadow Ball, he's going to continue that pressure for Tormenta Phantoms, but Current is looking a little bit awkward in the corner, and no problem. They realize it and send it all the way back into the blue, but Shadow Ball says Uno reverse card. Gonna go and play, but I mean, this is just becoming a game of ping pong again here in this game number 3. But we'll keep on watching, keep on seeing what's gonna happen, but yeah.
Saber's also hyping up what's coming in Season 3 of LOS Champs. I don't remember Boomer Ball being on it, so these guys, they might be trying for the wrong game mode, but I respect it. I like finding new ways to play. And right now it might work. Squashy might get the softest of touches. What a follow-up! Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. Squashy, we'll call it calculated. Either way, we're calling it a goal for no problem.
Yeah, just the way he bounces off the wall with his car and then lands right on the ball. I mean, it probably calculated, I feel like, but also spur of the moment. It's not like you're planning for that play. But yeah, no problem. They're obviously planning to win tonight.
See how this is gonna go. Current slow plays it, challenged by Squashy. Yeah, no problem. Just bringing it right back down pitch, looking to try to keep this pinned on offense as well. Although, in Tormenta Phantom, they've been getting the room to work with. That's going to be a great shot from Shadow Ball to get the equalizer. It nullifies my last point. They are getting the room to work with. They're able to follow it up and able to get some pressure going. SGB trying to dodge the demo. Does not work, as he does not get back in time.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you're not landing those bumps or demos, but even when you're going for them, you kind of get in the head of whoever's having to deal with the situation then and there. And I think that's what we just witnessed for Tormenta Phantom's advantage. But, ooh, Shadow Ball, he's getting up in the air looking for the bump plays now. A little bit of a change of pace.
See if we get a little bit of a tombsy, but a nice save attempt coming out, or save completed. Squashy is try to get a little bit fancy here as well. That full pitch play coming into it, and maybe more of like a ping pong where you're reaching across the table to get the touch on it, because we are still covering quite a bit of distance, but nobody really getting the better of the others so far, Sabres. We got about a little more than half the game to go.
Yeah, they might need to add a little bit of spin to their next hit. I don't know if that's even possible, but we'll see. I've seen a lot of crazy things so far in this series. More so it working out for yeah, no problem, but Tormenta Phantoms, they're making whatever work that they can, and Current, he's got some good air time, and is that resulting in a goal? Maybe not, but I feel like if you can keep control of the ball, not really let yeah, no problem have any, then it might kind of mess them up a little bit, because the second you regain that control, you just might throw it away because you're like, okay, Tormenta, they're going to be there.
Gotta be everywhere, but they gotta be able to find the way into the back of the net, too, and that's just what they've been struggling with. We're starting to see the shots rack up a little bit, but Squashy's just gonna get the... Squashy, okay. The first read, I'm not gonna say expected, but it's still a very solid one. The awareness! The flip, I mean... Saber, you're higher ranks than me. Do you do that?
I mean, I certainly can, but not as consistently as Squashy is right now, man. Definitely was grinding some ones. There was no 2v2s in hindsight. I bet that is exactly what happened. Both these players on, yeah, no problem. They were both in ones as their warm-up, because you can tell they were probably getting a little bit beaten up, but now they are pulling it out for Tormenta Phantom.
Had some advocacy for playing once.
Ooh.
And okay.
Okay.
Call it a kerfuffle. The end of the clip, not quite what the beginning of it was, but I mean, we're going back to a previously discussed topic. Blue Sabres, if there's any team that is playing confidently right now and playing to have fun, it's yeah, no problem. Like straight up.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything fun going on for Tormenta Phantom. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are trying their hearts out. But I think, yeah, no problem. They're not necessarily trying, but they are having fun. And that's all it takes.
It's one of these, the sense of being one of like the harder games to end up casting as well, because, I mean, in a vacuum, Tormenta Phantom, they're not playing poorly by any means. The mechanics have been great. A little bit upfield from time to time, that probably a little bit too far, but yeah, no problem. Just the positioning has just been that next level, and then you add in the mechanics as well, and that's just what's leading these situations. That might be a little bit high for Shadow Ball, and it is. The Squashy dodges the bump as well. 40 seconds left. Still time for Tormenta Phantom right now, but I mean, Sabres, it feels like every bit of momentum is on yeah, no problem side.
Yeah, I think Tormenta Phantom, they just gotta start playing closer and just start pressuring the living daylights out of yeah, no problem, because, I mean, they're just trying to stick with the same old gameplay. If you're not going to change anything, the result is certainly not going to change, and I think we're seeing exactly that, but, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's a lot of good gameplay, and just none of it's working out, though.
Right? You can tell these mechanics are they're polished, they're well practiced. It is so obvious that it has worked out well for them in the past. And you don't get to the semifinals by having mechanics and gameplay not work for you. I mean, they're the number 2 seed. They had their bye. They won their first match in 5 games, 4-1 over Dayton Summer. And now, No Problem, who have had to play since the first round. I mean, it took 7 games to get into this game, and they're just running away.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on that No Problem roster, but tonight, I'm not going to say it. You guys can already guess what I'm going to say. But Tormenta Phantom... okay, I see what's going on there. But Tormenta Phantom, they're going to have to just, like I said, just get a lot of pressure. Because, I mean, the mechs, they're great, but they're not working.
They're... it's hard because there's so much creativity coming out in those shots, but to your point, they're not really trying new things. They're trying variations of similar things. So you're still coming in with the aerial attacks. You're still coming in with these alternate angle type stuff. But it's still coming in from the area. It's still coming in from the side. We saw the passing plays coming out towards the end of that last game. I would like to see it start coming out earlier. They're going to need it. They got to reverse sweep at this point to make it into the finals, and otherwise they're going to be playing for third.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning in that first series, that reverse sweep is certainly not going to be easy, especially once you get up into these higher ranks, because I feel like once you're set in your ways, you're set in your ways, and No Problem. They're set in the way of taking home that victory, and right out of the gates, they're still looking to be on top, but Tormenta Phantom actually going to get an opportunity here, but the flick, it's just not coming in clutch for Shadow Ball, but a few shots so far looking decent.
Nice play from the corner too. Shadow trying to get it over to Current. Squashy going for the pinch, couldn't quite get it. Current's gonna get the demo though. SGB still alive, still trying to thrive. Gets challenged by Shadow Ball. They're taking your advice to heart, Blue Sabres. The challenging is smothering from Tormenta Phantom. They're going to find themselves in the lead. They're after a great start here in game number 4.
Yeah, I feel like in these kind of situations, you just got to match what the other team is doing. Mechanics are great, but when they don't land, it's against these teams that kind of have that like one's mentality, I'll call it. You just got to go against them with their own tool chest. But SGB, he's having to pull out a few new ones as he's looking a little bit awkward, actually. No boost in the tank, but you know what? Never mind. He's just fighting it right up the field. What? Okay. What is going on? You're talking about Boomer Ball. I think we're seeing it here in game number 4.
It's just chaos. We got to check the mutators. Is everything right? Is this legit? Check it. Check everything. No, it is good to go. It is legit. Just a little different than what we have seen so far this match. We see a nice passing play. Squashy over to SGB to get that equalizer. And I made a very strong start again for Tormenta Phantom, but just the possession play from Squashy setting it up so well for their teammate.
At Tormenta Phantom, I think in that first minute when they got their goal, they were playing really strong, and then they just got comfortable for just 10 seconds, and No Problem, of course, they're going to be punishing for it. They've got the lead, so they're going to be feeling the most confident in this one. It's Tormenta Phantom that you're going to see kind of struggling. But, I mean, that again, when you're putting shots on like that, maybe you're not struggling as bad as one might think.
You know, funnily enough, I was about to be critical of Current as well, because he had just such a, maybe not the easiest, but just a collect and a dribble cut in on net. The defender was coming back, sure, but to just get that read on it as well, I mean, he knows the play better than I do, no doubt about that. The great goal, and getting momentum back. I mean, just starting to see it work out for these two. It had not through the first 3 games. But maybe we're starting to see that new page, see if that works out for them. They're going to have to clean up these doubles on defense, though, because when No Problem shoot, they do not miss.
And, I mean, if they do miss, it's because there's a defender there, but yeah, they're not missing these open ones. No Problem. They might be losing the lead for only a moment, but they're here to win and maybe take it here in game number 4. But I don't know about you, but I'd like to see another game number 5, if Phantoms are going to be playing this kind of game style, because then I think we're going to have quite the series.
I agree. I would like to see this one go longer. I'm so intrigued by what Tormenta Phantom bring to this game and bring to the pitch. And it just, I mean, like we said, they just have not been able to get that final part. They have filled out the quiz perfectly, and their name is not on top of the paper, so the teacher doesn't give them credit. They've been so close. They're starting to get at the post of deny. Current a little far back, trying to come in on that challenge, but no, Sabres, to your point, I would love to see this go at least one more game. I just want to see what Tormenta Phantom have in their back pocket as the series goes.
And I think that is going to require them to feel a little bit more comfortable. Current. Oh, but Shadow Ball just going a little bit too hard on that one. And I am sure, yeah, no problem, are going to punish. Yes, they will. A minute 56. Do Tormenta Phantoms find it? Or do you think that's going to be a deal breaker?
There's so much time on the clock, and it is so important that they shake that off. So much easier said than done. Because the goal was there. And then instead of going up one, they're down one. It's essentially a negative 2-point swing. I don't think that's the dagger yet, but we are seeing it unsheathed. We got a minute 45. There's absolutely opportunities there. They just got to keep pushing and not let it get into their heads too much.
Yeah, and I mean, they're pushing right now. They're gaining that pressure up the field, and Curran is just putting on so many shots, but a lot of them getting denied. And yeah, no problem. They're still finding ones on target. The Tormenta Phantoms, they've had a lot of possession, I feel like, here in game number 4. So still kind of a little bit surprised that this game is not tied as it was. But when, yeah, no problem gets that opportunity, they're going to punish. And that's what they did. But this is what Current is going to be doing now. And we're tied up again.
Except the hat trick in the process. And again, I agree with you, Sabres. Just taking a look at the advanced stats in terms of possession and field positioning. I mean, Tormenta Phantom have had the advantage this entire game. They've had for most of the series as well, believe it or not. Yeah, no problem. Still the ones that have been coming out on top. We do see it go the way of Tormenta Phantom. They got a minute to get a little bit more. And SGB is going to cut it off. The saves coming in yet again, and both players so far upfield. Shadow Ball, great awareness to shadow that play and not overcommit and try to do too much all at once. So we remain tied. To go past over to the midfield line, we'll see how long it lasts as SGB trying to get it done. And another read off of the save. We've seen multiple this series and just been impressive. I mean, that's all I can say at this point.
Yeah, and I'd say Tormenta Phantoms, their field awareness has definitely gone up here in game number 4, but I wonder, is it because of an adrenaline rush that they're just really paying that much more attention and it could wear off game number 5 if there is going to be a game number 5? Ooh. I was trying not to curse it, but I guess I am anyways. There it is.
And it goes right past it. That slight blue trail from getting the save. And Shadow Ball coming back. That might have been a little bit extra adrenaline coming out, trying to get the read on. I cannot blame him by any means. 12 seconds left. Are yeah, no problem going to move to the finals in a sweep? Or do Tormenta Phantom have something in their pocket as they come back from defense one last time? Current over to Shadow Ball. Needs to play it out of the corner. Needs to get some power on it. This one's going to be a bit far. Can Current get it back? Looks to set up a waterfall, but will they drink from the fountain? No, denied. And Squashy sends it off. It's still alive, because why not? Everything else doesn't make sense in this match so far. Onto the back wall. Is this going to be a 2-point game? And Squashy is just going to go ahead and drop it down. I'm not going to asterisk the win. That was a 1-goal game, but what a way to just send the message at the end of it for Squashy.
Yeah, they ended off with an explanation point. They're going to have to do a little bit of rebranding, but while they're working on that, yeah, no problem. They're taking it in a sweep, and I think for that finals game, I'd be worrying if I was the team that has to go up against them.
Yeah, you can say it's either going to be Monkey Inc. or Darkside Masters, and I've seen both of those guys, or both teams in the past, so that could be really interesting. I know I'll be tuning in, so, and even like in the chat right away, Shadowball threw out right away, said, GG's, you guys got this for sure. I mean, and honestly, I mean, I don't know how you disagree based on how that match went. I mean, just a solid game. There's, I mean, nothing else to say. fantastically played. Looking to see if we can get an interview as well, but it was a very well played one. Shame it ended in a sweep, but I don't know what else to say at that point. It was so solid from Yeah No Problem.
Yeah, I do want to give props to Tormenta Phantom. They don't dip out. They do give that respect to Yeah No Problem, and that's not something you see every day, so kudos to them.
That is true. I do got to give that shout out as well. I'm glad I turned chat back on after you had mentioned it, so I'm glad to have seen that. But in speaking of seeing things, we're going to hear him. We're going to hear from SGB. Congratulations on a win. What a series. That was an absolute delight to watch.
You know, it was the squashy show this evening, wasn't it?
It was. It feels like 2 matches now when people just utterly step up ridiculously, and it was a good one.
You know, he was struggling earlier on in the day, and I was doing well, and we flip-flopped roles during warm-up, and you know, he turned it on, and I just played the support role for him best I could, and got as many assists as I could out there, and tried to be a nuisance.
Would you believe me if I told you that Squashy averaged more assists than you did?
I know, isn't that sad?
That's so
I
wild.
did my best. No, he really though. Shout out to him. He played super well tonight. We've had a grueling battle to get back to where we are now after the first 3 games of the season. You know, winning the first one and then losing the second 2, you know, put you in a weird mindset. And we've really had to fight and, you know, learn to play our style more and not adapt as much to the pace of the other team and just play our style all the way through.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that's exactly what you did here, and you're obviously taking it in a sweep. Did you guys come in planning for that sweep?
We played way too many 7-game series. No, and realistically, I figured if we can get on the gas early and we can, you know, get them down and get them to chase, that's our best opportunity. Because between the 2 of us, we can hit each other with passes. We can make that stuff work. And it's really, for this evening, it was just best case scenario for us. And shout out to the guys on Tormenta, because, you know, they had a great season as well.
Yeah, we're shouting them out on the broadcast as well, and giving them props for sticking around and saying GGs as well, and giving you guys your flowers, and truly well deserved. One thing I want to circle back a little bit, you talked about in the pregame switching, or you said before the game, the way you were playing, you switched up the roles that you play. Do you guys go into this with more of like the distinguished roles? Like after the warm-up, you're like, I'm feeling good, I got the striker today, or like, what's that look for you guys?
So it's not so much a distinguished role, it's more so of I know he's going to be more aggressive than I am at this point, and I need to make sure I hold a little bit more. And, you know, we have our days where in between the 2 of us, we flip-flop and make that happen, but realistically, it's 2v2. Both have to be kind of aggressive and also passive at the same time, which is really odd to tell anyone that doesn't play Rocket League 2v2. But it's, for what we do, it works out well to have one of us who's on point and the other who's not.
Yeah, you guys obviously meshed very well. This isn't 2s without having that second player, so you being there, able to support your teammate, always crucial. It's not just the squashy show. So props to both of you for the big win tonight.
Absolutely. And, you know, again, it's starting to show more and more with the teams that we have in this league. Guys are here and gals are here to just have a good time. And they're enjoying playing Rocket League together in a competitive environment that's not the toxic ranked that we always play. So shout out to Los Champs for that, and shout out to all the teams, especially in the tier 4 2v2. We've had a great interaction with everybody this season, and that's the way we like it. And we're just here to have a good time, man.
Say more. I mean, that is absolutely, I 3000% agree with that. I love being part of this thing for that exact same. We were talking earlier about how ranked felt so toxic lately, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, people are here, you want to scratch that competitive itch, I'm sure, but I mean, it's just a good time overall.
Yeah, we're all competitive. We're human beings, right? It's what we do. Otherwise, we wouldn't play this game.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want someone yelling at me what a save the whole time. Gets a little annoying.
That's when you hit him with like, yeah, no problem.
Exactly. I have that hot bound to my keyboard now, so it works great. But really, thank you guys very much for the cast tonight. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week and give you another good show.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see it. I'm excited to see. I'm going to be following along and kind of checking the bracket updates either way, but hopefully able to get you guys back on the mainstream and be able to get back and highlight y'all, especially great mentality and great gameplay. I mean, what more can you ask for than that?
Absolutely. And real quick, just to shout out to Coach Pancake, shout out to Squashy, shout out to the crew that watches us, and thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Shouting out the love. Awesome to hear it. Congrats on the win again. Go enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks, you too, guys.
Well, alrighty. So, unfortunately, folks, that is going to be the end of the matches for us tonight. We're looking to get more on stream on Friday, more playoff action. And before we get the raid going over to Danger Taco, Saber, it's been a pleasure. Floor is yours. Any shout outs you want?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to You're Next Up. I've been running that. I think it gives that opportunity to get a lot more of these teams opportunities to be on air, get their names out, and shout out to LS Champs, Cookies, running the stream over here behind the scenes, and shout out to you. It's been fun.
It's been a good one. Always happy to be here. Wednesday Night Rocket League's LOS Champs. And looking to get some more going on Friday, but we're going to go give Danger Taco some love. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. And remember, if you want to get in on the action, Season 3 registration is now open. We got to hype it up. Crew battles are coming. I'm ridiculously excited for that.
Alrighty. Well,
Cookies is yelling at us to send it out. I thought I did. And I'm going to put this on stream right now. I don't care. I've been clipped before. Do it. Bet you won't.
Adios, folks.